Did you realize your EBT card is so out of date that it's costing the low income and fixed income $62 million? Well, it's true, and that's exactly what I want to share with you here in this video, because there is one change to EBT cards that we definitely want to happen, as this would impact SNAP benefits and food stamps in a good way for about 43 million people all across the country. Well, that's what I want to share with you here in this video. Let's get into it and discuss what's going on and this one major change that would actually be really good. And again, we want this to happen. Now, before we get into it, I just want to clarify what I'm talking about here in this video directly pertains to EBT cards, SNAP benefits, food stamps, whatever we want to call it. It's all referring to the same thing. And as of right now, like I said, there's about 43 million people who are all low income or fixed income beneficiaries all across the country who currently have these cards right now, and they're massively out of date. As of right now, costing beneficiaries $62 million. And unfortunately, that number continues to increase every single month. Sad situation that's going on right now, which, by the way, thank you so much for liking and sharing this video. I really do appreciate it. There's buttons right down below. Make sure to like the video, share the video with your friends on social media so they can see what's going on, and of course, subscribe down below as well. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate your support. I want to do what I can for you here in the community. Let me share with you what's going on, okay? So when you look at your EBT card, what is different about this type of card versus a credit card, a debit card, things like this? Well, you may notice, something seems off here. I'm not quite sure what it is. Can't quite put my finger on it, but yeah, you're right. Something seems a little bit out of date about it. You're right. It's called the magnetic strip on these cards, okay? That is literally it. Now, why are we getting so worked up over a little magnet? Well, here's why. Because the situation is, these cards are massively out of date. The situation with these magnetic strips, they're not protected in any way, shape, or form. These magnetic strips are not encrypted. In other words, anybody can get that information pretty easily right off of your card. Have you heard about this? In fact, if you've been watching the video on the videos here on the channel for a while now, you've heard me talk about this because this is out there and this is a major thing. It is costing beneficiaries a lot of money. It's costing the federal government a ton of money as well. And this is a thing that they could fix very easily, but yet they haven't done it yet, which is very confusing. But there is legislation that was introduced earlier this year to do exactly this. So again, I know a lot of times change is like, oh no, we don't want change. No, please don't change anything. We don't want to go through that. This is a change we should all be praying for. This is a change we should be asking for, because here's the thing. If you have not been impacted by this quite yet, it's only a matter of time, okay? I know that sounds weird and really like, oh, that's negative of you to say. Well, I'm not trying to be negative. All I'm saying is that if you have not been impacted by this, consider yourself one of the lucky ones. I mean, seriously, this is impacting a lot of people. But what's simply happening is that there's people out there that put these skimming devices. Have you heard of this? These little skimming devices. They put it on little kiosks. They're most popular, or most well-known anyway, at gas pumps, right? So like the self-service gas pumps, you swipe your card in there, you think all is good, you fill your card, or you fill your car, with gasoline, and then you drive away, and then the next day or two or month or weeks later, whatever happens to be, you realize, I'm seeing some suspicious charges on my card. This is odd, right? Well, the same thing happens there. But these people are putting these little skimming devices also into grocery stores and places like this at the little kiosks at the checkout counter. So when EBT card holders are coming in, going to check out and buy the necessary groceries they need for that week or that month or whatever it happens to be for their families and themselves and their spouse, unfortunately they find, number one, my benefits might be all gone. Didn't even know it. Or the situation is they go in and they use their card as they always do. Life is good. They get their groceries and they go on and have a nice day. Well, then a month later, when their card gets refilled and they get their new benefit on there, they go to the store again and realize, oh, wait, what happened to my money? I just got paid yesterday. What happened to it, right? Well, this is exactly what I'm talking about, is that the skimmers take all the information. They can collect that data because it's not encrypted very easily right off that magnetic strip. And then all that information is in the possession of the scammer. They take that information and they take the money, right? They just remove all the money out of the card. They just extract all that money. And then the beneficiary sits there with no money to buy the necessary groceries. Well, here's what's happening. So back in, it was actually in December, to be fair. It was in December of 2022. They passed a piece of legislation which actually had it retroactive back to October October 1st of 2022, if I can speak, and it's a 2-year piece of legislation. It goes through September 30th of this year, 2024. Well, the problem is, basically what this is doing is that they're saying, we're going to appropriate federal funds to replace wrongly taken benefits from EBT card holders. In other words, if you're a victim of somebody that has benefits taken from their EBT card by one of these skimming devices or cloning scams or whatever it happens to be, they would replace that with federal funds, okay? And you'd have to go through your state, your local office, and they would replace this money that was taken from you. Now, obviously, there's parameters about that. This is kind of like a blanket statement, a general statement about it. But yes, they would generally replace that money. But here's the problem. It ends as of September 30th of this year, okay? But get this. As of right now, the most recent numbers that I was just looking at, this has so far impacted over 127,000 households that have already been replenished as in money, okay, that has been wrongly taken from them. It's a lot of people, right? Well, get this, $62 million, according to the reports here, $62 million has been taken from the low income right off of EBT cards because of these little skimming devices. And now that person that needs the benefit goes out to, buy the groceries, whatever it happens to be, and realizes, I have no money left. And now they have to wait weeks or sometimes a couple months to get this money reimbursed to them. Sad situation, but these are the latest numbers about this, okay? So if you are one of these people that has had your benefit wrongly taken from you, as in your EBT card data has been compromised, if that is the case, you need to call your local office immediately. They're probably going to have you fill out a benefit theft form. That's what it's called, okay? Benefit theft form. You can find that, but basically you have to fill out this form and you'll need to submit it. And then they're going to do a little bit of investigation. Again, it might change office by office, state by state, little things like that. But basically they're going to look into it, make sure that, yes, for sure, this is, an authentic thing. And then they're supposed to be refunding the benefits that were wrongly taken from you. At that same time, they're likely going to issue you a brand new EBT card. So it can happen all over again because these cards are not protected with the little microchip or whatever they're called in like credit cards and debit cards. Those aren't in EBT cards. But like I said, earlier this year, there were lawmakers that came out and said, why aren't we doing this? We should be implementing this immediately across the entire country. Now, there are a few states out there that are implementing this a little bit right now across a few of the states. But realistically, this should be implemented on the federal level across the entire country. They should be doing this, but they're not doing it quite yet. There's a legislation. There's a lot of talk about it getting it done, but they're basically saying for the $62 million that we've already had to replenish for people that have had their benefits taken from them, we could do this whole program for less money than that, right? It would not be that big of a deal to get this whole program done. And if we continue to procrastinate on this and we keep pushing it out, it's going to cost us even more than it would just be to just actually do this in the first place, right? So anyway, it'd be a little bit of a process, but yes, they would have to issue brand new cards for about 43 million people. In fact, there's a little less than 43 million people, but it's right around that 43 million people that are currently on these benefits. So they have to issue brand new cards. It's a lot of cards to go out. Let's just say it's $1 a pop. Okay, you spend $43 million and you send out, 43 million new cards. Yeah, it's going to cause some logistical issues, some administration burden, things like that. But you know what? You know what it's not going to do going forward? It's not going to have all these claims of, hey, my benefits are taken. Somebody stole my benefit, right? You're not going to have that anymore. Or if you did, it's going to be very, very minimal compared to what it is now. So you're going to save a lot of money in the long term, and it's going to cause a lot less heartache, frustration, annoyance, wasted time for beneficiaries who don't have the money to buy their necessary groceries. It's not going to, have all the administration burden for those people trying to go through the paperwork and, file the claims and all things like this. Overall, it just seems like a no-brainer. It saves everybody money in the long term, keeps the money into the cards and the accounts that the beneficiaries are supposed to have and out of the pockets of the people that are taking these benefits. I don't know. Seems like a quadruple win to me, and it seems like a no-brainer that should be done. But anyway, this is a thing that's out there, and it's costing beneficiaries a massive amount of money. It's costing the federal government a lot of money, and at the end of the day, it's something that's likely going to be coming, but we'll have to see when it actually is enacted and when they actually do something like this. But this is a change. In my opinion, we want this change to happen, right? There's a lot of things out there, a lot of different changes that they're talking about. We really, it's not that great. We don't want them to happen. This one, we definitely want to happen. So please do it. If lawmakers are watching this, do something. You got to do something for these beneficiaries. If somebody's in a situation where they need food, like, I don't know, yesterday, and they're in a situation where they need to have this done, like, right away, to go a couple more days and wait, or a couple weeks or a couple months to wait for benefits to be reinstored, that's a tough situation, right? That's a bad thing. And a lot of people just cannot swing that. So it's not feasible for a lot of people as well. Make sense? Anyway, I just want to bring this to your attention really quickly. I was just reading a couple of reports about it, and thought I'd share this with you. So if you have not done so, again, please like the video down below, big thumbs up. Subscribe down below, totally free to do so. Share the video, again, down below, share button with your friends on social media. Otherwise, check out the other videos here on the channel, including the thousands in the video library, the ones down below in the description on the top of the comment section, and those that I have popping up on your screen right now. Check out one of those.